Today we have a Sony SLV-370p DVD player / VCR. So the DVD player, keep in mind I got this from a garage sale and I paid $5 for the whole lot. Click open, nothing happens, you hear nothing because the motor's dead. And when I took this, I took the whole thing apart, took the front panel off, took basically the whole thing apart. It was a pain in the ass to get this back on because there's little notches down here where it has to go back inside of. It was a pain in the ass to put this back on there too. And to take it off. I can tell you something for a fact now I know is that these were not made to be repaired. Certain models were, certain models weren't. This is one of those ones that was, obviously, because it's a Sony. And I didn't see any on the back. Of course, we'll get to that later, so. Turn it back on. Open. It's stuck on the opening single. Didn't even open, so. VCR, however, we got a copy of Top Gun. We'll put that in there. I already cleaned the video heads yesterday when I first got it, so. It's a hi-fi, of course, so it's got better quality sound. So there's her. It's a 96 copy. They only released this, I think they did it like 3 times. 92, 96, and then 86. And then I think they did a 91 copy. I used to own a 91 copy of this. Of Top Gun. And I used to have the paper sleeve thing that went over it. Like this. Like the cardboard paper sleeve thing. So I used to have one of those for it back in the day. And then I found an 86 copy, which then I bought that one, but then that one didn't play very well, so that was back in the day. Probably like almost 10 years ago, before I finally found a DVD copy for a reasonable price. And anyway, so this all works and everything. I had messed around because I couldn't get the rewind button to come up on the screen. I couldn't get it to rewind, so I took it apart. Come to find out the button was just stuck. So the looks like the commercials, their auto head cleaner, I haven't got a chance to remove that yet. I should have removed that. I tried to, but it wouldn't come out, so. This one has a channel button on it. You notice that? Channel / tracking. So it does have a tuner in it, unlike the previous one that I have. That's from a 2007 that doesn't have a tuner in it. So now we'll look at the major features of this thing. So you have line in 2 on the front for recording, obviously. Keep in mind this is 06 when this thing was brought out. So 3 years later, the analog over the air would have gone down, so there wouldn't have been any of that. You can see here, there's the fans for the ventilation. It looks like you got 3 of them. You notice how they're mostly on the DVD side where the DVD player is. A lot of ventilation. There's 4 total vents. So, and the funny thing is, look at this. This is all for the DVD player, which is non-responsive, which is not working anymore. This DVD player will probably never work again. I'm touching these, it's messing around with the screen, so it's not good. I shouldn't be doing that. There's the tuner. I gotta admit though, this one is so filthy inside. It looked like they never cleaned it. It was so filthy. So that's the N1. You have the N2 on the, and then coax. So you could practically get 3 N's on this as long as you have a digital television tuner. And then you'd be able to get 3 N's on this. Mostly the tuner. And then probably connect another DVD player to the back of this. And then your camcorder or another thing on the front. So let's look at the wattage on this. This is a 25 watt unit, so it uses a lot of power versus the ones from, you know, the like 2 years newer than this, like the Funai ones usually use like 11 to 18 watts. So this one uses a little bit more power. So you're looking at much better quality components. More quality here, not much though, because usually you get these higher end units. I'm gonna say this one's probably, I'm gonna say mid-level. But you can see there you got the model number SLV-370p. So I'm assuming that means that this will, I looked online, this unit puts out 480p for the DVD progressive output, but it does that anyways when you connect it with the component output. So that's about the major features, other than the fact that most VCRs don't have the pause button on the front. Most of them don't. If you look at all the Philips ones, especially the Funai ones, there's no pause button for the VCR or for the DVD player. Unless you buy a really high-end one, you spend a ton of money. You're basically getting the same junk no matter which model you buy. Seems like Sony went in the mid-level. They started putting these pause buttons. So, see here now, it says, I'll press it and you can see no tape inside. Please insert a tape. So, it's that little Magnabox TV up there. You can see here we got line 1, line 2, channel 2, so I don't think there's a way to change this from channel 2 to channel 3. Usually there's a, sorry about this, but usually there's a little notch back here. All these spider webs are in here. Trying to get them out. Usually there's, most people know what I'm talking about. There's usually a little switch back here for channel 2 to 3 or 3 to 4, whatever it is. I'm not seeing it, so I'm wondering if that information is in the settings, which of course I can't seem to get to. Because I think the DVD player is dead. I can't get into the menu or anything on it. Of course, I haven't tried that part yet, but... So, that's my review on this one, on this model. I think it was probably pretty good back in the day when it was put out, but Sony needed to work on their quality control on their DVD players. They needed to build them to last longer than how long this one actually lasted, because I bought it just yesterday and I got it and it didn't work at all. So I don't know if it stopped working years ago or if it just stopped working recently, like the last few months before they put it up for sale. So who knows? And anyways, I see these for sale anyways at thrift stores now for 30 to 40 bucks. And I don't know how these things can be. I don't know how this particular unit can be worth that much. If you've seen the inside how I've seen it, you'll know. I don't see how it's worth 30 to 40 bucks. I could see maybe 15 to 20. 20 being the highest. I don't see how this thing can be worth that much. There's probably like $20 worth of they probably spent 20 bucks to build each one of these. And they probably priced them really high. Because this is the funny part. It says multi-brand TV remote control. Considering this is from, 2006, as I learned about Sony, is they built the same model for 3 years. So they started building these in 2003, up until 2006. I think if I remember correctly, the FCC said they couldn't build anything anymore with a analog tuner. I think that was after 2008. Or 2006, I think it might have been. So this might have been the last year for combination units like these to have analog tuners. So this might have been the last of the last from Sony. All of them after this might have been built with no tuner in them for that reason. That would explain why this model would be so highly valuable. It seems that'd be the reason why they're so expensive online. That might be it. But that wouldn't make any sense. That would be absolutely horrible if that was the reason why. But if I notice this when you flip this back, you can see what the color of it used to be. So I wonder if these people were smokers. Yeah, that's what the color's supposed to be. It's not even. I bet you this model's probably mint condition for the VCR because they stopped producing VHSs in 2006. They stopped releasing them to the Walmart and stuff. You had to order them mail-in catalog. After that, up until 2010. And they're still releasing them occasionally online. Only online available they are nowadays to own, get newer movies. Otherwise, you could connect the DVD player up to here and record them on the VHS. You might be able to get 4 or 5 movies on one VHS, but that'd be just about it. As always, we've come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching.